Have you ever noticed how two people can start with the same opportunities, yet one ends up wealthy while the other struggles their whole life? It's not luck, it's not magic, it's mindset. Today, we unlock the wisdom of Jim Rohn, one of the greatest personal development teachers in history, and reveal the mindset of millionaires. If you've ever wondered what truly separates the rich from the poor in thinking, discipline, and daily habits, stay with me until the end. Because once you understand these principles, you won't just think differently, you'll start living differently. Let's begin. 1. Thinking long-term over short-term. Poor minds crave immediate pleasure. Rich minds plan for future gain. This is the great divide between mediocrity and mastery, between those who chase fleeting dopamine and those who cultivate enduring fulfillment. The average person seeks instant results, immediate validation, and quick comfort. They spend their evenings scrolling endlessly, chasing temporary relief from boredom or frustration. But those who think long-term understand that every moment of indulgence steals from their future strength. Millionaires don't ask, "What feels good now?" They ask, "What will reward me later?" Every decision, every dollar, every hour is measured against the horizon of years, not the impulse of minutes. They are patient architects of their destiny, understanding that compounded effort, like compounded interest, rewards those who persist without visible progress. This mindset isn't about deprivation, it's about direction. To delay gratification is not to deny pleasure, it's to choose a greater pleasure later over a lesser one now. It's understanding that the satisfaction of discipline outlasts the sweetness of impulse. Think of the farmer who sows seeds in the spring, knowing he will labor months before the harvest. The soil gives nothing immediately, but it promises abundance to those who trust the process. Similarly, the long-term thinker invests time and energy in learning, creating, and building systems that may not pay off today, but will pay dividends across decades. They read when others relax, they save when others spend, they build when others boast. When a millionaire considers an opportunity, they ask, "How will this decision pay me over the next 5 to 10 years?" They understand that wealth is not built in sprints, but in marathons. While the crowd seeks shortcuts, they study compounding. While the masses chase trends, they master timeless principles. The long-term thinker doesn't measure success by immediate applause, but by quiet, consistent progress. Their patience becomes their competitive advantage because most people quit long before the results begin to appear. Even in personal growth, this mindset reigns supreme. Mastery in any domain, be it business, fitness, art, or relationships, requires time, iteration, and endurance. The Stoics taught that true wealth lies in self-control, and self-control is the art of thinking beyond the present. The long-term thinker knows that the person they are today is a result of yesterday's choices, and the person they will become tomorrow depends on the choices they make now. To live this way is to step out of the trap of instant gratification and into the arena of lasting legacy. Delayed gratification isn't sacrifice, it's strategy, and the greatest minds of every age have understood this, that real power belongs to those who can wait. 2. Embracing risk as part of growth. The average person fears failure. Millionaires fear stagnation. The common mindset views risk as danger. The uncommon mind views it as a doorway. Every breakthrough, every fortune, every innovation was once a risk taken by someone willing to look foolish in pursuit of growth. Comfort is seductive because it promises safety, but it also promises mediocrity. As Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better." The path of improvement is paved with uncertainty. To wish for ease is to wish away your evolution. Growth and risk are inseparable twins. Where one exists, the other must follow. Most people spend their lives building walls to avoid discomfort, not realizing that those same walls become their prison. Millionaires, on the other hand, understand that risk is not the enemy. It's the teacher. They take calculated risks, not reckless ones. They study, plan, and then leap. Not because they are fearless, but because they know fear fades faster than regret. They understand that the pain of risk is temporary, but the pain of never trying is permanent. Every setback, every loss, every failed venture teaches more than a lifetime of cautious comfort ever could. The Stoic perspective aligns perfectly here. Marcus Aurelius wrote that what stands in the way becomes the way. To the Stoic and to the Millionaire, obstacles are invitations to strength. When something feels risky, it often means you are standing on the border between who you are and who you could become. To embrace risk is to accept life in its fullest form, to live not merely as an observer, but as a participant in your own unfolding potential. Failure in this light becomes feedback. Each attempt refines you. Each risk reveals another layer of your courage. Each discomfort stretches your limits until they no longer hold you back. Those who rise to wealth and influence are not those who avoided mistakes. They are those who turn mistakes into lessons and lessons into leverage. They know that fortune favors not the reckless, but the prepared, the bold, and the resilient. Risk reveals character. It exposes weakness so that strength can be built. The ones who play it safe may avoid temporary pain, but they also avoid permanent growth. The cost of inaction is invisible, but it compounds quietly until dreams die in silence. So step into discomfort. Take the leap that others fear. Start the project that intimidates you. Risk rejection, embarrassment, and failure, because those are the tolls paid on the road to greatness. The longer you wait for the perfect moment, the further you drift from the person you could be. Embrace risk as part of growth, not as an obstacle to it. Those who do will not only grow faster, they will live fuller. The greatest risk of all is to live without ever truly daring. 3. Turning problems into possibilities. Where others see obstacles, the wealthy see opportunities. This difference in perception is the foundation of fortune. Problems are not punishments. They are signals pointing toward innovation, solutions, and breakthroughs. Most people curse their difficulties and retreat into complaint, but millionaires get curious. They ask, "What is this situation trying to teach me?" Or, "How can I turn this challenge into an advantage?" It is this attitude, this shift from victimhood to ownership, that transforms problems into portals for progress. Every great innovation began as a response to a problem. The greater the problem, the greater the potential for impact. Where most see inconvenience, visionaries see inefficiency, and inefficiency is opportunity disguised as frustration. A problem is simply an unmet need waiting to be solved, and those who solve it well become indispensable. This is why the wealthy don't run from problems. They run toward them. They understand that the world rewards problem solvers, not complainers. When faced with difficulty, the average person says, "Why me?" The millionaire says, "Why not me?" They approach obstacles not with despair, but with discipline. To them, problems are tests of creativity and resilience. Each one refines their mindset, sharpens their focus, and builds their resourcefulness. In this sense, adversity becomes the gym of greatness. It strengthens those who train in it. The Stoics taught this same truth centuries ago. What we resist persists, what we accept transforms. To accept a problem fully is to gain the power to change it. Complaining is easy. It offers the illusion of control without the responsibility of action. But curiosity creates progress. The wealthy mind, instead of saying "this is unfair," asks, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can I make this better, for myself and for others?" This question-oriented mindset turns frustration into fuel. The difference between those who struggle and those who succeed often lies in the quality of the questions they ask when things go wrong. Every problem contains the seed of its own solution. When you approach life with that belief, nothing can truly defeat you. Even failure becomes feedback, guiding you closer to what works. To think this way is to become anti-fragile. You don't merely survive difficulty, you grow stronger because of it. The person who can stay calm, curious, and constructive in the face of chaos will always rise higher than those who panic or complain. So, the next time life hands you an obstacle, remember, it is not there to block you. It is there to build you. Success isn't avoiding difficulty, it's mastering it. And the more problems you master, the more powerful, capable, and valuable you become. Problems are not the end of the road. They are the beginning of innovation. The wealthy know this deeply, that fortune is simply the reward for those who keep their heads when others lose theirs, who see beyond the obstacle and into the opportunity hiding within it. 4. Practicing gratitude while pursuing growth. True wealth isn't only measured by numbers in an account, but by the depth of peace and clarity in the soul. Gratitude transforms our perception of what we already have, turning ordinary moments into evidence of abundance. Many chase success endlessly, thinking happiness waits on the other side of achievement, but gratitude reveals that fulfillment has always been within reach. The wise understand that every breath, every sunrise, every lesson learned, and every challenge survived are forms of quiet wealth. In the Stoic sense, gratitude is not a passive feeling. It is an active discipline of attention, a conscious decision to see the gifts that hide within hardship and the meaning that hides within struggle. To practice gratitude while pursuing growth is to balance the fire of ambition with the calm of contentment. It means saying, I am thankful for how far I've come, while still declaring, I will not stop improving. This balance is rare. Most people either settle too early or grind without pause. But gratitude anchors us in the present even as we strive toward the future. It reminds us that our value is not dependent on our accomplishments, but on our integrity, our consistency, and our compassion. The Stoics would say, don't let the pursuit of more make you forget the miracle of enough. Consider the successful who still feel hollow. They climbed every mountain yet forgot to look up at the stars. Without gratitude, victory feels like vanity. But those who remember to say thank you to life, even in the small things, possess a joy that cannot be stolen by circumstance. They are rich long before they are wealthy. Their mornings begin with acknowledgement of health, of opportunity, of the ability to begin again. Their nights end with reflection, of lessons learned, of strength shown, of the simple gift of existence itself. Gratitude does not kill ambition, it purifies it. When you are grateful, you are not chasing success out of envy or fear of inadequacy, but out of purpose. You build not to prove something, but to contribute something. You strive, not because you are empty, but because you are overflowing. This shift in intention changes everything. Work becomes worship, effort becomes expression, discipline becomes devotion. The Stoics knew that gratitude gives strength, for no one fights harder than the one who recognizes the worth of what they already have. Be thankful for the lessons hidden in the losses. Be thankful for the patience born of delays. Be thankful for the clarity revealed through pain. Every obstacle contains an opportunity, and gratitude is the lens that makes it visible. The person who complains loses energy, but the person who gives thanks gains resilience. Gratitude is a form of power. It doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you better. It sharpens perspective, fuels endurance, and keeps pride in check as success grows. In the end, the richest people are not those who collect the most, but those who appreciate the most. Every day offers you two choices: to count what's missing or to count what's present. Choose the latter, and you'll find that gratitude isn't the opposite of ambition. It's the heartbeat that sustains it. The man who can say, "I am grateful for this step," will take the next one with even greater strength. And in that rhythm of thankfulness and effort, life itself becomes a masterpiece of meaning. 5. Staying humble as you climb higher. Arrogance destroys what discipline builds. Pride, unchecked, turns victory into vulnerability. The Stoics warned that success can be more dangerous than failure because it seduces the mind into self-importance. When people begin to believe their achievements make them superior, they lose the very virtues that made those achievements possible. Humility, however, is armor for the soul. It keeps the spirit steady in both triumph and trial. To remain humble while ascending is to remember that the summit exists only because there was once a valley. The truly great remain students, even when they become masters. They listen more than they speak, observe more than they judge, and seek wisdom more than applause. The higher one climbs, the easier it becomes to forget the ground that nurtured one's roots. But humility whispers, "You were not born at the top. You were carried there by grace, guidance, and grit." Every mentor, every mistake, every moment of grace contributed to your rise. Forgetting that truth breeds entitlement, remembering it sustains greatness. Humility doesn't mean diminishing your worth. It means keeping your ego in proportion to reality. The humble know that no amount of wealth, recognition, or influence can change the essence of who they are, mortal beings navigating an impermanent world. Fortune shifts, fame fades, markets collapse, and power passes on. The Stoics reminded us that only virtue endures. Thus, humility is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's seeing success as a temporary role, not a permanent identity. The danger of pride is subtle. It doesn't announce itself. It creeps in quietly, disguised as confidence. It convinces the mind that feedback is unnecessary, that others are beneath consideration, that rules no longer apply. Many have fallen from greatness, not because of failure, but because of forgetting humility. Discipline builds, but arrogance erodes. To stay humble is to guard against that erosion by keeping gratitude alive and curiosity open. The humble remain teachable. They see every person as a possible teacher, every situation as a lesson. Humility also manifests in how one treats others. Wealth and power often distort perspective, but the wise treat everyone, from janitor to CEO, with equal respect. They understand that dignity is not distributed by status. The Stoic Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, reminded himself daily to meet arrogance with kindness, ignorance with patience, and flattery with self-control. True greatness does not boast, it serves. The person who remains grounded while the world elevates them becomes an unshakable force. Remember this truth: money magnifies who you already are. If you are humble before success, you will be gracious in it. If you are arrogant before success, you will be unbearable after it. Humility keeps you connected to humanity. Arrogance isolates you in illusion. The higher you rise, the more essential it becomes to bow inward, to remind yourself that growth is never complete and mastery is never final. Humility allows you to keep climbing without losing yourself in the ascent. In the end, staying humble is not about pretending to be small. It's about recognizing that life itself is vast. You are a part of something larger, a network of people, a chain of causes, a tapestry of time. Your achievements are threads within that pattern, not the pattern itself. When you remember this, you rise with grace and stand with dignity. The humble shine quietly. They let their actions, not their ego, speak. And because of that, their light lasts longer than pride ever could. Study these principles, practice them daily. Then watch your world transform. As Jim Rohn said, success leaves clues. Study them. Be hungry, be humble, and build the mindset that builds your life.